Happy New Year.
Oh,
Okay, we're trying to do a podcast for the new year. Not in a rush, but we are in a different room, a different setup. And John and I are the team that you see. We don't have a team of people. We are the team of Lord speak so that we can figure out how to use this equipment that, we have. And so Joey did it. Um, I
we'll
want
see. We'll see if
We'll see if it works. If you are watching this, it worked.
oh,
It's
okay.
basic.
Mission involved in getting everything set up.
It's super
I
frustrating.
read instructions, and he doesn't.
This is not my calling. Like anything that has electronics, I don't even care what it's called. I don't want to deal with it at all.
I thought I was the silent partner, and suddenly,
Yeah, it's
and I
it's
don't know how. And I'm reading the instructions, and she doesn't like me to read instructions because it takes too long.
yeah, I don't have the
Patience,
patience. It's just not my thing
it needs to be.
at all. Like, don't hire me to do this.
That's about it.
Yeah. I just need to go, set up and go. But okay, today is January 1st. We are officially 31 days away from the Be Bold conference, and it's for women.
We're also 5 days away from our Mercy Culture Fest.
I'm learning. Learning is higher than remembrance.
Really?
Hmm?
Did you express it in remembrance?
Yes.
That's why you're so simple about it.
Yes. And I also I'm an intercessor, but I didn't know that about myself. And like I never served on the intercession team or anything like that. People have never asked me to pray.
Yeah, but no, that's not true. People ask you to pray all the time, and you're a praying mama, so I don't know why.
That's what so my
It
friend
almost sounds like the lie of the devil is, oh, I've never done this, so I'm not qualified somehow.
yeah, well, I never did it in a serve capacity. And when I was telling my friend, she said, "Well, you're an intercessor." And I said, "I am." And
Sounds like a little bit of a label to me.
she was like, "What do you mean you don't know that about yourself?" She's like, you pray all day, every day about everything that you do and you hear." Yeah, I just thought like everyone that when you found Holy Spirit and you found the Lord that you just prayed all the time about everything. And I do. That's what I do, like all the time. So the word of the year for me, I think, is we talked about this at lunch, is to bear fruit.
Mm.
And when I was sharing this with John earlier, I said, it's scary sometimes when you hear God say certain things that you're supposed to do about yourself. Because when he said, like, you're going to bear fruit, is when you're being obedient to what God says, the expectation is that when you are obedient, there's fruit to show from it. You're stewarding something well. It's like if you're investing money and you're doing a good job, well, you're going to see it duplicate and grow, right? And so when you're being obedient, you're growing. So there's going to be fruit. So when I heard that, I also heard that, I mean, January 31st, and it's about boldness and walking in the calling God placed on your life with authority, which is what this podcast is about. It's about being an Esther for such a time as this. It's about being a Proverbs 31 woman. And said, be ready basically for hate to come at me this
Oh, yeah.
year. Why'd you say that?
Well, because oftentimes when you do what the Lord leads you to do, commands you to do, uh, and your calling or destiny, it attracts attention of the enemy. That's why lukewarm Christians don't have a lot of issues in my mind.
Mm,
If you're standing up being bold for the Lord, it kind of makes you a bit of a bullseye in a good way.
yeah.
So, I mean, like, for instance, Pastor Lightning, I always talk about him, but they come after him hard. Why? Because he's speaking truth and
Yeah.
and not within the church, but outside
Yeah.
the
Outside the
church.
church.
So, um, my word, actually, it kind of occurred to me. I've been praying into this, but I don't have any final reconciliation. But that's been spoken over me. It's a unique situation in that, because I'm divorced and because I don't see them very often, I
Mm,
tend to because I don't want it to always be conflict. I tend to let stuff go and then address it later.
Yeah.
Fire and brimstone, and sometimes I'm a little scorched earth.
Mhm.
I'm like, "Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
You're not wrong, but that's not how I wanna do this."
Yeah.
So that causes you and I to struggle a bit. But yeah, reconciliation, um, would probably rally.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. But I mean, I've been thinking about that for a while, but, it's always typical when you point it out and then we're starting a podcast, it's kind of impromptu. I'm not qu
Which is
She's in trouble, by the way. She didn't give me a script or a heads
I
up.
don't do scripts. I want raw and authentic conversations, especially with you.
Mhm.
Um,
And I'm great when there's no cameras on, there's no recordings.
because I'm an open book and I do get slack. Like I've been unfollowed and I've gotten hate because of just my biblical views, which is fascinating to me.
And it's easier for me because I'm not really much of a social.
Yeah, John is not on social media. He doesn't
I mean,
care.
I'm a troll. Let's be real. I'm a troll. I watch,
Yeah. And a
but
lot of people watch. A lot of people watch in silent. And then when they see you in person, they'll say something. And I'm like, I put it out there, but go go engage on my social medias.
well, I started in social media to watch what my kids were doing.
Mhm. And I think because social media is prevalent, like this is how I get my podcast out. This platform is for me to reach people. That's it. That's what my platform is for. And so I share a lot of my personal life because even before I shared my life when I didn't, walk with the Lord, and now I do. And so what you're going to see is someone very imperfect, and God still uses me.
Yeah, right.
And so you
Yeah.
don't have to look a certain way, you don't have to be a certain way, you don't have to have like certain education. I think a lot of time people think like, oh, to live like that, or people who follow Jesus look all sorts of ways.
Yeah, for sure. It just made me laugh. Totally put you on the spot here. If you're just putting it out there, how is it you always send me these Instagrams of this new purse,
What do you
this
mean?
new thing,
Well, I mean, I
all
love
these
shopping.
products?
Can we talk about shopping on TikTok real fast
Oh
though?
my
Because
goodness.
you're not on TikTok.
No.
So I can't send John things on TikTok that like I have bought.
Doesn't stop her from sending me links that I don't
But
want you.
like Joey's like, Mom, there's this thing on TikTok. It's a lot cheaper. And lo and behold, things are a lot cheaper on TikTok. And, I love TikTok Shop. And so someone was asking me about it, like, if you don't know about it and you have teenagers and they're on TikTok, ask them. I don't think all social media is bad. I think that people manipulate it sometimes and weaponize it. Yes, of course, there's bad things on social media, just like on TV and on video games. In the library, there's bad books that you can possibly pick
Yeah,
up.
but I think some of the issue a lot of people have is that it's causing a generation of children that have zero attention span.
Yes,
They're
but
they're
that's not the
instant
social media's fault, that's the parents' fault who
at
let them be on
no.
social media all
I
the
don't
time.
dis I completely disagree. Social media has algorithms that causes many crashes, and if you've ever watched some of these things and the studies they've done, they'll give you something that makes you sad, and then it pulls you in these emotional things, and then their algorithm will literally do things in a certain order to keep you pulled in because 'cause you're getting all these dopamine rushes, and so it's engineered to have these kids on there. And so I'm not saying social media in and of itself is bad. It's the platforms and the data miners and those people that are on
What is
there.
a data miner?
These are the guys in the background. So for instance, a lot of these social medias, why stuff's free,
Mm,
it's because they're saying you're watching this. And so
mhm.
now they're getting demographic information.
Yeah,
All right,
you're right.
54-year-old white man is watching this, 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 and this. Have you ever wondered why you get an ad when you were just talking about something?
Right. I guess I don't get the ads that, like, for me, like you said, your emotions go up and down. Because like, sometimes you'll get sad stuff on your social.
Oh yeah.
I never get sad stuff on
Puppy
my
stuff we
social.
saw, or the
Yeah,
one
like
the one
John
where
had
you posted on me and I'm laughing so hard I'm crying
yeah,
and it was
but
just
I never get stuff like that. And so that's
I
why,
all the stuff.
but
So I
also,
gotta go reset my algorithms.
so we disagree on this. Like John thinks that I really think if you have kids, you're, I mean, you're the one putting a screen in front of them. If you don't, like, Joey did not grow up with a screen because one, they didn't exist. Two, I couldn't afford one for a long time.
Do you think it was like for me?
And so
We
when
had
they were
phones, we had pagers.
older,
And we
right?
even had
But
phones.
we didn't grow up with that. We did not grow up with that.
You did, but you're not the norm.
So now when the kids are like addicted to the screen, that's the parents' fault.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking
Yes.
about.
So we're talking about similar things in different contexts, I think. So yeah, the screen time, the kid that's walking down the mall with an iPad in their face, that's a parent issue. I'm talking about the algorithm that drag you along through several things.
Yeah.
You know, I knew I had a problem when I started playing on Instagram.
Yeah.
So that's one that we started talking about
Yeah.
watching. That's why I put timers on my phone now.
Yeah.
And, certain times, if I've got nothing I have to do,
Is that your check-in?
that's me to check in for my flight.
Okay. Check-in?
So, do your start talking. I'm gonna check in for my flight.
John's gonna go work tomorrow, so he's checking for his flight.
That's hilarious.
So, okay, my word is fruit, and your word is reconciliation. And John and I will like pray about and pick a word for us, like be in unity about what we want for our marriage, what we want for this year. Because right now we're in Phoenix. That's why this room looks like this. It's not completely done. And the Lord told me not to abandon the podcast. And I'm going to say that it's way easier to not do this podcast than it is to do the podcast. And I think
But I
that,
like that you do it. And I like that you've done like 20 because most people do like 5.
yeah,
When I jokingly say I'm the silent partner, but I'm the one that kind of watches. And if you get more than 9 podcasts, you're a top 1%
yeah.
podcaster. So I think that's pretty cool.
And the fact that we don't have a team, like, that is a struggle. But here we are, and we're going to have a lot more this year. Um, Definitely in a rhythm, definitely whatever the Lord says, I do. And so, given that the conference is going to be just a couple Saturdays away, today is Thursday, it's January 1st.
Check that.
Perfect. And then the conference is January 31st. It's on a Saturday. The Lord said to have it on that day because of Proverbs 31. And it's for women. It's going to be great. There's going to be different women from all walks of life coming to pour into other women. And right now, as of today, more women from out of state are coming that are in state. But I think that,
More coming from out of state than in state. So Phoenix folks are not coming.
yeah, there's not a lot of women for Phoenix.
Well, weren't you discussing that? You were talking about how Phoenix kind of needs to wake up a little bit.
Yeah. So when I lived here, I was not active in church. Okay. So I didn't come back and I don't know all these people that go to churches or whatever. And where in Fort Worth, we went to church and I was part of a lot of things. So I feel like I have such a vast group of women that are like-minded. That doesn't mean that I have like 100 friends of women because I think that gets blurred sometimes. Because you go to the same church and you see each other all the time, you're not like walking with that person in their life. And so here I do kind of feel alone because we are remote. We have the community, which has been amazing, but it's just like we're still adjusting. And the Lord said, have a conference. And I'm like, okay. I mean, if you build it, they will come. And so I just felt what the Lord put on my heart is that women in Arizona need Jesus, but they need to be on fire for the Lord, not just like what you said earlier, a lukewarm Christian, where actually I was at TJ Maxx the other day, buying a rug that you can't see here.
What was this?
And it was a shopping story.
Was that TJ Maxx?
Makes me happy. And someone was asking me about pillows that I bought. And I was like, oh, it's for my podcast room. They're not on here right now. And they said, "What is your podcast about?" And I said, "Oh, it's about encouraging women to be bold and walk in the calling that God placed on their life with authority." And they was like, "Oh, are you a believer? Do you believe in Jesus?" And this is what their response was, "Well," and I'm like, "What?"
Either know or you don't.
Yeah, it's either a yes, I'm a believer, or no. But you to get to know Jesus. Like, if you don't know, what is it that you don't know? Or what is it that you want? Because I'm like, let me tell you about let me tell you about the good news.
That's awesome.
But because I'm pretty stoic when I am out and about.
You see me and they're like, "Oh, hey."
Yeah, I'm very stoic, just
Hurry up.
normal, like normal me, until like I'm like, oh
Very controlled, but your face is still a billboard. Stoic is very like,
yeah,
not stoic.
yeah. If I don't know you,
Okay.
you wouldn't know.
Standoffish.
Yeah, and I try really hard not to be that way.
I'm just-
I try really hard not to be that way, but I you're
Sorry, guys.
doing it already, so how are you asking me?
Well, I just want to make sure, for anybody that wants to know, I don't wake up in the morning going, "Oh, I got to get one."
But do we put one in it?
Just start them out during the day. So how long? Yeah, hold
You're
on.
so distracting right
I
now.
know. Well, you didn't have a script, so
No, we're not being scripted. Okay,
you get what you get.
ring us
You
in.
don't know.
Okay, we talk about
I tell dad jokes.
conference
I tell dad jokes,
all
and I'm
the
gonna tell 'em,
time.
and I'm gonna laugh at him.
But I mean, if you're still watching right now, part of the reason we went on like a health kick so hard is because of John's arthritis.
Yeah, it kind of stings.
So I like have never said that because it's your private stuff, like your health. But the reason why I started, or I think I said that once, why I started stewarding my health so hard is because we were taking care of you. And you're like, well, if you're taking care of me, take care of you.
Yeah.
Um, and when you work out, I used to work out a lot before too, but when you're working out really hard, the the hardness in doing something physically challenging mentally makes you stronger. So when you're doing things uncomfortable, like gonna speak on a stage or gonna speak on a podcast, like anything that's hard is good for you
Yeah.
because it's helping you grow
Before this happened, I used to be, fit like Steve, but on a 6'4" frame.
before your arthritis.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I
right,
used to kick.
we're
I
trying
used to kick Steve's butt in the gym. I used to kick Pastor Landon's butt,
we're trying to
which I got special
is it
enjoyment. Mitigate.
mitigate that now is John's inflammation and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I gotta get back in the gym, get to work and actually work out without it just like.
How did you hear about what fast you're doing? So we're gonna fast with our church
Well, I think
corporately.
God's always talking to you, and so I feel like you're supposed to give up. I don't think fasts are supposed to be easy, but they're also not supposed to be crazy hard. And when I say hard, I mean they're get rid of the thing in your life. I mean, that kind of sums it up.
And you withhold something for yourself because you're basically killing part of your flesh.
Correct.
And because you're killing part of your flesh, you have to count on the Lord to get through it.
Absolutely. And you're
So
taking,
that's why you're fasting.
and some of it is, that little sermon on take your mind captive. Part of that is you're daily forced to take your mind captive to focus on the fast, which in turn will cause you to focus on God.
Yeah.
And there's that discipline that goes with it, because like, me, I'm pretty regular on my quiet time.
Mm-hmm. Your daily encounter.
Dead encounters, yeah. And so I call it quiet time, but sometimes you want to go look at the social media first. And I have found that I gotta read the quiet time first because that's for me in the morning, that quiet time when nobody's moving around in the house. That's quiet, and that's what I can hear.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you start bringing in all the static. At the end of the day, it's never gonna happen because there's so much static.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't always do the quiet. Like you're very like it has to be quiet.
yeah, I don't want
I
distractions.
do different things while I read or audio. And then even when I pray, recently, because of how like my drive is and all this stuff, a lot of my encounters are in the car.
Mhm.
if I hear like a download from God, I just get my note and I write it down on my
I
phone.
mean, yeah, many times
Yeah, that's
I
really
hear like,
interesting.
because the devil can mimic your voice,
Yeah.
and the Holy Spirit uses your voice.
Question for you.
Uh-oh.
Since, okay, this is the first, and in 31 days, we have the women's conference.
Okay.
How how will you encourage other husbands to support their wives when they are walking out something that God placed on their life and they're not making income from it? So like this isn't my job, right? It's like a job. It takes that many hours, but it's not a job per se. It's a calling and we have the company and all of the things, but it's not like a corporate America job. And so, as a husband who is the provider, and as me, someone who's not a breadwinner, do you encourage husbands to like empower and encourage their wives to do that?
Well, I can say for me, I'm not always, and you know this, I'm not always the best. Get it done, you know?
But because you say, if you heard from God, then do it.
So that's
That's why you're like that.
support. All right. You heard from God, do it. Yeah, quit wasting time. But I think as far as encouraging husbands, neither is your wife. But if you're preventing her from doing I mean, obviously we're both very flawed. We have
Yeah.
our flaws. I've got a temper. I'm pretty rigid about certain things sometimes. But when you say you've heard from God, to me, it's like, oh, okay, you got to do that.
Yeah.
So it's really easy in that regard. Um, it can be frustrating sometimes because it doesn't make money,
Mhm.
but it costs money. And so sometimes I'm always like, all right. And so you got to get out of your own way. You got to realize that God's going to provide and get out of the weeds. I like to use a lot of Landon quotes, Pastor Landon quotes.
Mm.
Get out of the weeds. I don't even, I don't know.
No,
Maybe
it's
it's
good.
because I'm a little older and I'm just like, well, I don't need to understand it. She heard from God. All right, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And then I do like to, I don't like to be in front of the camera. You know this.
Yeah.
I don't like to be out front. You know, I had a good friend that was struggling at one time and did former pastor and hadn't done well in that regard support. And I'm like, not all warriors fight from the front.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like because you tend to be pretty bold and you're well spoken and you're polished and you can do all those things, why would I not give you the support you need on the back end?
That's good.
Um,
No, it's good.
I think it's a lot easier than people make it out
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah.
It can be frustrating at times. There are times when I'm like, hey, how are we gonna make this work?
Yeah.
Chill pill.
Oh, it's good though because I mean, you are and in a marriage when the spouse says, "I heard from the Lord to do this," if you said that to me, it's like, "Well, then go do it." I'm
Except I
doing
don't
it.
really do that, do I?
But
Probably should.
but if you're not doing it, like you call me out on it. And so like people who are walking in obedience and then are like, "Okay, this is hard. I'm done." Or "I'm tired. This is taking too long. I'm done." And now your husband or your friend is like, "Hey, you're being obedient." Who cares what it's going to look like? The whole point is to obey, not the end result.
Absolutely. Well, think about your cousin, right?
Mm, yes.
And when you can kind of do that mental paradigm shift and go, I'm doing what God told me to do,
Yeah.
it doesn't actually matter what
Yeah.
happens in the end.
Yeah.
And that's hard to take, you know, that's hard to do. And that's hard sometimes to step back and go, all right, chill. Because again, I think a lot of people think that they're the main character.
Main character.
I mean, it's not no it's cliche, but
No, it's good.
I'm not the main character. I don't want to be the main character.
Yeah.
Um, there's some fixers and providers, and when they can't, they get pretty frustrated, and that comes out in different ways.
Yeah.
So,
That's good. Well, I'm going to wrap it up.
okay, wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Okay. So for the podcast of the year of 2026, we talked about our word. We talked about conference on the 31st.
What episode is this?
This is I mean, the first of the year, but probably episode 27,
Wow. Oh,
28.
really? Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
can I throw this out there? Oh, you were doing a list and I completely interrupted.
Go ahead.
Well, I was thinking, we'll see what your viewers think. I would love to see you get your son on here. I want to see what people think about an 18-year-old Christian boy, the challenges of being a Christian young man in today's world, and then this really awesome girlfriend he has now
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
also Christian, goes to church by herself, and it's just sweet as can be.
Yeah.
I'd like to see, I wonder what people would think of, well, I'm 54 years old. I'm a Gen X.
Mhm.
What are you?
No,
He's what is he?
yeah, Gen Z.
Is he Z? What's the next one? A?
I don't know.
The next one.
I I don't have a kid that's the next one, so I don't know.
Oh,
I
okay.
just know
Well,
we're
I
at
was
Gen Z.
literally thinking out loud on this thing, but I'd like to hear them comment.
I think it's good also because they're not sheltered. Like, um, they go to public school.
Right.
They're not, I wanna say this lovingly. They're equipped and we protect them as much as we can,
Yeah.
but they're prepared to know what the difference is between good and bad
Well, they're
and
in the
not be
world.
shocked
Yes.
when
They're in the world. They're living in the world.
yeah. And I think sometimes when you shelter your kids too much, when they go to college, it's shocking because,
Yeah. I mean,
what
I was shocked. I was shocked
yeah,
when
yeah. So yeah,
all
that'll
right,
be
that
the
was a
future.
that
Yeah,
gotcha.
we'll see what we do there.
Okay.
But y'all, like this podcast on YouTube, it's on Spotify. Follow it, share it with your friends. Help me get the word out. Tell your friends, specifically those in Arizona and in Phoenix, to come to the Be Bold conference. It's a women's conference. Doors open at 9:30. It ends at 5 p.m.
And next time she'll have a script on her neck.
Thanks, y'all. Bye.
Bye-bye.